In continuation of our presentation on Mac-Basel Intellitoria School Management Solution, let us explore the exams and result processing features of the software. Once again, my name is Sharafadin Elegbede, the Technical Director for the company. Let us start with exams and results processing related customizations. I click on the software to launch. That's the splash screen of the software loading. I log in with my user ID and correct password. Click login button. The exams and results processing module of the software allows every school to be able to generate e-results and send to parents of the students in the school. In order to do that, the number one thing that we need to do is to first of all confirm if we have set up the school session and subsession that we want to do the result for. For instance, if we want to do the result for first term, we need to first of all come here, check if it's there. If it's not there, we click on add button to create a new session, and let's say we want to do second term because first term is already here. The start date for the second term will be January 1st. No, January, let's go for January 3rd. End date for second term the 8th of April. It actually depends on your school calendar. The number of holidays or school breaks, this is very important because the software makes use of this figure to decide the number of times school open. You can see that excluding Saturday and Sundays is indicated there. So the number of holidays we want to put here should be calculated before we actually input a figure there. So I click on the save button. So we have successfully done the second term 2019-2020. So I can close this. Then the next thing I like to do that I want to do is confirm in my classes definition if the class I want to compute my result for is there for the specific session and term that I want to do. So we've got a number of classes already in there. You can see 2019/2020 first term. We also have I can sort this by clicking on the session and so we can see all the first term 2019/2004, all the classes in there. So that's fine. I can close this. Then the next thing is to go to the examination grade and subject definition. It's to go to the subject definition. So we need to define the subject for each of the classes that we actually want to generate the result for. For instance, we have already got some subjects already configured for almost all the classes here. I can see SS1 accounts, so we can see the list of all the subjects, and the fact that they have already been configured for each of the classes. You can scroll down. If there is need to make a change, you can click on the edit button to change the properties of any subject that is already set up. Let us just add the subject, the CBT paper code. If your school has got the CBT module from us, we'll give you a particular code for each of the subjects. Let's just put 029 here. The subject description, let's go for civic practice as the name of the subject. The subcategory subject, we are going to put NA here. The subcategory subject relates with those subjects that have got other subjects under them, like basic science and technology. We have the BST, we can have basic science, we have basic technology, we have computer science and security education under basic science and technology. So but in this case, that is not applicable to civic practice that we want to do, so we put N/A there. Then from the list of the applicable classes, we are going to take all the classes that offers that subject, civic practice. Let's assume that we want to do it for level 1, level 2, level 3. Let's say these are the classes that offer that subject. Then we need to specify in the CA total, CA1 total, let's say the maximum obtainable score for the first CA is 15. Let's say for this one is also 15, and the number of the total obtainable score for the exam score will now be 70, based on what I've just set up here. 15, 15, then 70. If I save this one, this code has already been assigned to a subject already, so I can, that's the CBT code, I can make it different by putting, yes, this is a good warning message for us. In fact, it will not let us save these details until we do the needful. Invalid subject definition, at least an existing subject definition level for level 1 conflicts with this new definition, details not added. We need to confirm before you can add a subject to a particular class. You need to understand their CA structure. The CA structure in use for level 1, 2, 3 is 10, 20, 10. So, and here we are using 15, 15, 70. So the software will not let you do that. So let us put in the correct structure. So it's 10, 20 for the second CA. The third CA is also 10, and the maximum obtainable is 60 in there. So we can save this, and the subject details have been saved successfully. So that's how to create subjects for a particular class. I can close this button, I can close this page to go to the next customization, which is the grade definition. I go to the grade definition, which is examination grade and promotion criteria definition. I click on it. So on this screen I can define my grade. The grading system that you use in your school can be defined here. At the moment we have already got an already defined grading system. Fail if somebody scores between 0 and 39.99. Pass if the student scores between 40 and 59.99, and so on and so forth. So we've already got that for crèche level 1, 2 through to SS classes. But let's assume that I want to introduce let's assume I want to make a change to this. good is already there as 60 to 74.99. If I want to edit, I can click on it and do click on edit button. I want to change this to 60 to 64.99 as good. I save that. So I can add another one, call it very good. So the lower limit of that is going to be 65. I want it between 65 and 74.99. It's always advisable to use 0.99 because some students can score 0.1, 0.2 or 0.3 as additional, in order to ensure that all the possible scores are covered. We should use 0.99 there. Let's click on any color that we like for that, and we assign a grading key that we desire for that. We can go for A2, brilliant grade or brilliant performance can be inserted there as the principal's comments. We should note that the principal usually gives academic comments, so based on the performance of the students, we can pre-configure the set of comments that we want the software to install to insert automatically against the principal's comments. So the principal does not have to sign each of the report card. The comment will be inserted automatically for him or her. So any comment I put in here, brilliant performance, will be applicable to every student that scores between 65 and 74.99. So I can take the class that I pick the class. I may want it applicable to all the classes. Okay, so subject teachers comment here, I can put very good as well, and then I can save the details. Now I've got a modified grading system, 0 to 39.99, 40 to 59.99, and so on through to 100. That has been done, that has been defined successfully. The next thing you want to look at is the class promotion criteria. This is very important, especially if you are in a terminal term. You want to do results for each class in the terminal term, and you expect the software to promote the student for you automatically. You need to come here, you need to tell us about your promotion criteria. This is the page to do this. There are 3 different methods through which you can set up your criteria. You can set up the criteria using the final grade or final score obtained by the students, or set up the criteria using the subject grade based on individual subjects performance for the students, or you want to combine both, the subjects grade and the final grade of the student. Let me start with this. I click on this, on the first option, create criteria using a final grade score. Promote the students from level 2. The software is then asking you what's the class that you want to promote the student to. Promote from level 2 to level 3. If you choose the same class here, the software will not let you. Promote students in this selected class to class specified in final completed grade. If the final completed grade obtained in the last time for this session is good, so what we are telling the software now is if any student obtains between 60 and 64.99 or above, such a student could be promoted. If you score below 60, the student will not be promoted for level 2. So if I do save here now, that's fine. So I've already done level 1 and level 2. Let's do another class using the subject grade definition. When I click on that, I won't be able to do anything here. I come down here, promote from, let's do for year 7, a junior class, to I move all the students from year 7 to year 8 if the student passes in mathematics. For instance, let's go for mathematics. Required minimum grade is good, between 60 and 64.99. I save that as well. That's for mathematics. If the student also passes in English language, I can specify, or if I want to consider either of the two subjects for the students. But for English and maths, I want to do must for both of them. Must pass both English and maths, and must obtain 60 on minimum. I click save also, so that's fine. I've successfully defined some promotion criteria there. That's the process of defining your promotion criteria. I click on close button. That's done. Having done that, the next thing you want to look at is how to set up the other domains that you want to show on your report card. Your affective domain, your psychomotor aspects and ratings, cleanliness, spiritual, sport and game, then youth development and clubs. So all these can be set up if according to the needs of your school. We have already got some here: punctuality, neatness, and so on. Relationship with teachers, we can see all of them there. Then you have the ratings that you want to use for your behavioral aspect. All these will be pre-configured for you as a school. We take a sample of your report card to set up the information here. I close this. Then we want to take a look at the other aspects, which is how do you now finally, if I want to configure a staff as a subject teacher or as a class teacher. That's the next thing we want to take a look at. Let's go to the staff matters. We click search and update to staff details. That's if you already have some staff in the database. Let's see, we have some active staff already. We can configure them. Can click on 109, click on edit. So we have got the details of the staff already set up. So the next thing we want to do is specify whether the staff is a teaching staff or non-teaching staff. But for the exams and the result processing, almost all the staff must be a teaching staff. So you tell us the school type. The school type has to do with it determines the number of subjects and the subject that is listed there and the classes. So if I choose junior secondary and I choose subjects, so all the subjects that are related to junior secondary school students will be available here. If I click on the class teacher here, only the classes configured as junior secondary class will be listed here. If I choose both, so that means this particular staff is teaching and at the same time is a class teacher. So let's just configure this as a junior secondary school teacher teaching all the subjects. No, teaching just Greek and basic science, basic tech. Let's configure just 3 subjects for this user for this staff, and as a class teacher for year 7B. Then we save and update. So the details of the staff have been, as far as the subject definition is as far as the subject and class definition is concerned. We close this. So we have been able to set up a particular staff 109. Let me edit the staff again. So we can see Greek is already there, basic science and basic tech. We can also browse and upload this signature of this teacher, because the software automatically inserts the signature of each class teacher specified. So when we generate the result for year 7B, we should be able to see this signature, the signature of this particular teacher inserted there. Let's look for sample signature that we can use. I think I've got a signature that we can use on the desktop. We have teacher signature there, so we update that. So the staff number is 00109. That's the staff that we have actually configured. So I close that. I close that. So if I quit this software, I can log in with the detail of that particular staff. Let's see what happens when we log in with the details of that staff. I launch the software again. Zero 109. The password should be 00109 as well. If so we can change the password for the first time that we are launching. It's asking us to change the password because that password is being used for the first time. I want to change it to Mark Basel just for the purpose of this demo. So the software has been launched. The staff as a class teacher or subject teacher is only able to do few things in the software. Is not able to add new staff. Is able to update the student details, as we can see. Is able to look at the school sessions and subsessions, subject definition, cleanliness, psychomotor, all those things that relate with exams and result processing. And finally, such teacher, the teacher can actually come to exams and results here to submit their score. Let's click examination and results. You can see because he's a class teacher, is able to input the scores. We have to choose year 7A or year 7B. We can see that only 3 subjects that have been configured for the staff are available here for him to input. So let's go for first term, because we go for first term. Exam manager password is required when you are trying to input for when you are trying to input the scores when you are outside a defined date. The date defined for first term is not yet. This is 21st of July, and we have defined first term to start in September. That's the reason why you are having this request. You cannot just change the results anyhow. You have to give the exam manager password. So we have all this now, list of all the students in year 7A. We can see so the teacher can submit the scores for Greek science, CA1, CA2, CA3, and so on. That's that about configuration of staff to be able to input scores. I close this page. I want to log back in with MacBasel itself. That has not got any restriction in inputting of scores. Software is loading. MacBasel. I import. I click on the login. Okay, let's quickly go to examination and results and generate the result for a particular class. So I go to 2019 level 1 first term, and then I pick the subjects that I want to input for. So we can see we have affective, basic science, civic practice. That's the one that I just created when we started. So with this, you are able to input the scores of the students, CA1, CA2, 3, and so on. So we have already created some scores for third term. Let's just browse through them. You can see CA1 total is 6, and so on. So let's input civic practice for third term level 1A. Let's say I input 18. The software will not let me because the maximum obtainable is 10, and I'm trying to input something that is greater than 10. I do 8. CA, I do 8. Let's say CA3, I do 4 or 15. It will not let me as well because the maximum there is 10. Exam total, let's say 56. That's fine. I want to input for another one, 10, 14. That's fine because the maximum obtainable there is 15. CA3, 9. Exam score there, let's say 59. So we just continue like that. Each teacher will have to input the scores of their students. So I input 78 there. and the maximum obtainable is 60. That's why it will not let me, so I do OK there. We have 7, 9, we have 8, and we also have 60. So you can input the scores, and as you input the score, you see the software calculating the total score for you. So having done this, I can quickly jump to generate my midterm report. If you have inputted all the scores, you can generate your midterm reports. Whatever subjects, whichever number of subjects you have inputted for whichever number of students, you can generate your midterm reports. I want to say the 2018 third term level 1A reports. So you have to choose the scope of the reports, whether you want to see just CA1 or CA2 or the third one, first and second, and so on. So for this one, we have got first, second, third. So I can click preview and generate reports. Results generated successfully. So the software has got the feature that lets you browse the broadsheets. I want to see the broadsheets. We can see everything there. We can see the civic practice, what we have inputted. I've inputted all these scores, first, second, third. So I haven't inputted for this. That is why they are empty there. This can be printed out, and it can be filed as the school copy. I can minimize this. Ready to print generated result sheets. Let me say yes there, so that we'll be able to see our results for each of the students in the class. You can see first CA, second, third. So that's just the midterm reports. You can see the total obtainable score there, 600, total score 312, and the percentage is calculated. The head teacher's comment is automatically inserted based on the final grade obtained by the students according to what we have already set up under the grading definition. So this is the result of the entire class. This can be sent to the printer. We can do a print preview to look at it page by page. You can do a custom setup just to ensure that each result is contained in a page. So we have something like this. That's another child results. That's another child's results, and so on. So we can print here. We can send this to printer if we want. So I close this. I can minimize this. Each parent that have got valid email address as well can receive the notification of the midterm reports of their child. If I click on yes button, that is that will send the respective results to each parent. If I click on yes, provided my internet is on, that's what I will do. But let me just do no here. I click close. So that's that about midterm reports. So let's proceed to the actual reports, which is the terminal reports. If I want to now do the full end of the term reports for every student in the school, Having done the exams and results, the exams and the CA inputs, I can proceed to behavioral rating. I click the current session, the term, the class. So, and then we have list of all the students in the class. We can see we have already got some entries in there. So each of the behavioral rating that we have already set up at the beginning, we have them here as the heading: punctuality, neatness, cooperation with others, and so on. So if I want to edit, I can type on it 5. That means I want to give excellence for this particular pupil. Demo pupil 180 under cooperation with others, he or she is excellent. I want to give 3. That's good. I want to give 4, which is very good. If I input a wrong one, that is not if I give a wrong key, for instance, if I input 9, the software will complain that you have inputted a wrong behavioral rating. So we use 3 and so on. So we do the same for psychomotor as well. Choose term, choose your class. So you can do the same thing there. I can edit this as well. Let's say 4, let's say 2, 1. As you press the enter key, it's saved. There is no need saving separately. As you press the enter key, move to the next, is saved. So that's that about the psychomotor rating. Attendance. Each teacher, the class teacher, has to input the attendance information for each of the students or pupil. We come here, click, then we do number of times present for each of the child in the school. I can do 120 here. I intentionally put in 120 just to show you that if you input a figure that is greater than the number of times calculated by the system as the school opening days, it will not accept it until you put in a lower figure. Let's say 102. That's fine. You can equally do exactly 112 if the student is not absent in any day throughout. 108 and so on. So the software calculates the absent days automatically by itself. Then we move to the final aspect, which is teachers and principals comments. This is where we now do the final computation. We choose that, and let's do level 1 and wait for the software to do some calculations there. At least one of the students does not have complete information. Yeah, you get this message to let you know that you have not inputted the scores for some students in some subjects. So that's why you have that message. For instance, we can see that basic science level 1 score is missing for this particular child. Civic practice has not been inputted for this child. So we can quickly call the attention of the teacher in charge. If those scores are actually missing, the teacher will tell us, and if not, we'll continue to generate the results. So we can see that the position has been calculated. The software does position automatically by itself. You cannot make a change to that. You cannot make a change to the grade. You can only and you can see that it has calculated the overall grade as well, 804, and that's 53.6 for that particular child. 866.5, that's 57.77. That's pass as well, according to what we have set up. there. So we can insert the comments. Each class teacher has to do the comments. He is a good boy in class. I press the enter key to submit my comments. She needs to be more serious, for instance, as the comments. Press the enter key and so on. So you can do up to 3 comments as a teacher. 3 statement comment can be done. That's teacher's comment 2, that's teacher's comment 3. We have the head teacher's comment here, automatically generated by the software based on what we have already configured while setting up the grade. So the next thing we want to do now is move straight to generate our reports. So this page gives us further option. If we want to include the newsletter in the email that we want to send, one of the features of the software is to let you send the newsletter and the school calendar, include it in your in the results notification that you want to send to the parents. If we need to do that, we click that. If we want to do this, we also click we tick the button, and then we can browse to a PDF document of the newsletter, and calendar as well. We can browse to the PDF document of the calendar if we have already done it. I just tick this off at the moment just to demonstrate to us. So we click on generate and print email results. So when we have this message, we just continue as normal. Maybe a signature is missing or teacher's signature file has been moved. Just click OK. It doesn't affect what you want to generate. So the result has been generated successfully. We click on OK button. Do we want to preview these results on the score sheet, broadsheets? So we've already got broadsheets already generated. That's it. We have each of the subjects there. We have CA total, exam and total, 24 plus 60. We can see 84 there. 22 plus 46, we can see 64, 68 there, and so on. So we have this already generated for us, and because it's third term, the software has calculated the cumulative for us. We can see the first term, there is no entry there. The second term, we've got few entries there as well. Third term, we've got only this, and then the cumulative has been done based on what we have there. So we have the position there as well, first, second. So we have the first person scoring 65.62, the second scoring 59.13, and so on and so forth. So on the broadsheet also we have the average, we have the class average, and then we have the chairman education committee comments, if you have any in the school, just to sign and pass his comments. So I can minimize that. So the software wants us to send this to the appropriate email recipients. In most cases, it is the class teacher for that class that will receive the broadsheets in an email. If we don't want to send this, we say no. If we want, we say yes. Let me just say no here. Now we also have what we call the comment broadsheets. The comment broadsheets will just show us the individual teacher's comments on each child, and the head teacher's comment as well, so that we can correct before we print all the results. So we can see the summary score for each of the child, and the corresponding teacher's comments and their teachers or principal's comments, all on a sheet of paper. So this can be printed out, and we can then make necessary correction before we finally print the results. Ready to print generated result sheet? We can say yes here, so that we'll be able to see our results. You can see the school logo and the name of the child there, the picture of the child there. That's just a sample picture, it's not real life picture. So as we can see, we have the affective psychology. We can see the score there, 23, and all over 40. We have 50 over 60, 73 on 100. Then cumulative score 46.0. That is adding 73 to 19 divided by 2. So we move down. Just move down there. We can see the grade there for the student as well in each of the subjects. The software does a subject by subject grading, and also you can see the cumulative class highest, you can see the cumulative class lowest, cumulative class average, then you can see the class subject position and overall subject position. That's in individual class, and then if you have several arms in the class, then you can see the graphical display telling us the performance of each of the child in each of the subjects. In affective, the highest score in class is shown by green. You can see the student's actual score is blue, and the lowest score in class is in red. So at a glance, each parent can actually see the performance of their child in each of the subjects. So we can see the total obtainable there, 1005, the cumulative 804, and then the calculated average score 53.6. We have the behavioral rating there as well, psychomotor showing, and then we can see the class teacher signature that that has been inserted. The head teacher signature is missing, but it can be uploaded. So we can see that's the next one, the next child. That's the next child, with their pictures. So, and this can be sent to the printer and printed out as well for each of the child. So in short, you can generate the results of a class by following the procedure demonstrated. Do you like to send result notification and other document as final, as email attachment to parents? Know that internet connection, that's exactly what I've mentioned earlier. The software gives you the opportunity to send reports to the parents as well. So I can do yes here, or I do no, so it depends. So that's the end of the procedures involved in generating and sending reports of the child's performance every time to their parents. The other very key important aspects, let me just close this, is generating the performance statistics reports. You can generate the performance statistics reports, examination performance statistics reports for a particular class. That is also very key. We can see that now. So this is like a summary report, so we can at a glance we can know how many students passed a particular subject, how many failed, and so on. So affective psychology, for instance, the highest there is 86, the average score is 72.94, the lowest score is 46. So we can see the best 3 students there. When it comes to the end of session ceremony, valedictory service, we can actually make use of this to determine the best student in each subject for gifts. We have basic science. We can see the highest one, the highest students. There are 3, the best 3 students. The first one scored 74, the next one 69, the next one another 69. So we can see the number that passed, number that failed, the number of students below average, exactly equal average, and above average. So we can see all these reports in the software. So it's that's performance statistics report for us. Quite useful report. I can minimize this. Again, the software gives you the opportunity to send this as an email attachment, maybe to the director of the school or the chairman education committee of the school, if you want. So I can just do no here. This is all that we want to demonstrate to you as far as the exams and result processing is concerned on Intellitoria software. We thank you very much for watching this video, and we hope to do business with you. Watch out for the remaining aspects of the software demonstration. Thank you very much for your time.